Meeting of the Community Services Committee on the 28th of March 2019. Carl is ill, so Phil is substituting for him. So, any apologies for absence?
There's one apology, Mr. Chairman, from Councillor Kent, no others.
Okay, right, thank you very much. Any declarations of interest from committee members?
No.
Okay. On to item 3, Chairman's report and urgent items. I don't have a report.
There are no urgent items, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any public questions in accordance with Standing Order 22?
And there are no public questions.
Thank you. I wonder whether that would be raised by, I gave that to Carl.
This is about the hard surface on the,
yes,
the
right.
common. I was going to mention it when we got to the relevant paper,
okay.
if that's okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Right, minutes. To confirm the minutes of the Community Services Committee meeting held on the 14th of November 2018. Is everybody...
That's just me.
So you would
I confirm,
you would,
right.
you would confirm.
Thank you very much.
All right, in that case, I shall sign them.
What happened? You should have said, didn't it?
You would not do it, you would wait till
Yes.
Initial paragraphs and signing.
I think what they'll do is initially every page don't they? Custom. Do it anywhere else. And just sign initially. Format. Okay, thank you very much. So, item 6, minutes of other meetings referred to the Community Services Committee. I think we're just receiving these, aren't we? So, we'll just go through and ask whether there's any comments. So the Christmas Carnival Working Party on the first one, 15th of November and 20th of December. Any comments on those?
No.
No, I've been involved with that for years, but I think it's most successful, and I did make it complimented the officer in charge this time, which was particularly good, really good. I've done it for 19 years. But this was one of the best.
Yeah, I think it went very well. Okay, on to the allotments working party. Anything on that?
No.
Okay. Remembrance Day working party. Main point on that one was the excitement over the parade, stopping at the wrong line. Page 16 where it says dismissal. I think the RBL representatives got quite excited about that.
Oh, okay.
I think that was about it, really. Okay, so can we just note those?
Yes.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, moving on to item 7. Officers' reports. First one is 7.1 budgetary control. This appears to be a zero-sum game. In other words, positive variances equal negative variances. Net position nil.
I'm just slightly curious about why the park hall rental was down.
A comment on that?
I don't know the answer to that, but I can take that question away and then give you the answer.
Okay. Any Any other comments from anybody, or can we just
Oh, no.
just note that?
Good.
Good that we're making more commercial income.
Yeah.
Oh, indeed. Well, we had a real push on that,
Mm.
and that's gone extremely well, I think. And the guys at the vans on the concourse, they seem to be still interested, don't they? And
Yes,
it
and
seems to be going well, and I think the plan is that certainly one of them, the idea was that he was doing that as a test run for his business, and if it was successful, he was going to take a shop, which is good. It's increasing our retail offering, which is good. So as far as I know, that's continuing.
Yes, and Mr. Chairman, the ones that are on there, I've met with them this afternoon,
Okay.
and we've been talking about their aspirations and ideas for the future, and at the minute they're hoping to continue down there for quite some time to come.
Okay.
Yeah. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you. Checking. The Dutch pancake one seems to have gone, and I haven't seen the other one. Emilio's is there all the time. I haven't seen the cake and whatever it's called for a while.
There's one behind him, isn't there? There's two on.
I think they're both Emilio's, aren't they now?
They're both Emilios.
Are they? Okay.
Yes,
Go on.
Mr. Chairman, they are both Emilio's. The pudding stop,
Pudding
cake
stop.
one in the middle, that one did go. The pancake one that you mentioned, they just didn't get it right and weren't successful, and they decided to withdraw their licence and have gone. So Emilio's have got both of them down there, and it's Emilio's who are looking to the future now.
I only mention this with another hat on of the St Albans Enterprise Agency. I did help Emilio years, gave him some advice actually.
Excellent. Excellent. It's almost like a little incubator on there, isn't it?
Oh, it could be, couldn't it? Could be a little sort of
Test run.
Yeah,
Test run for
Yes.
people's businesses. That's good. Good stuff. Okay. Right. That's that one. I think we just noted that, haven't we?
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So, duly noted. Duly noted that one. Right. On to 7.2, page 23. Commons and Greens Inspection Programme. Do you have any comments on that?
Yes.
Yes.
It was just that I'm curious about where the golf club cottages come into this, because I don't see them, and they're definitely one of our assets. So I just wondered where that came in the scheme of things.
Mr. Chairman, again, I'll take that question away and come back to you. I have a feeling that when I've read the lease in the past, that there are assets that are included in the lease to the golf club, which I think tends to put the estate there within the hands of the golf club. But I don't know the definite answer, so I'll go away and get it and come back to you.
Yes, please, because those golf cottages, do you remember a few years ago, they were run right down.
They were.
And we need to make sure that they are maintained at a good level.
Yeah, they were in a very scruffy state at one time, weren't they? I do remember that.
I think we had a discussion about them a couple of years ago at this committee. I think I think they was asking for some money or something, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I think we give them the golf club a loan or something, don't we, every year, some kind of money, and they sort of a little bit irked at them not using money from that, something like that. I remember.
I'm not sure they are on a lease, definitely. Well, the whole, the golf club has a lease, and I think if I remember correctly, we get, if their membership goes up, we get a bit more revenue under the lease.
Yes.
I can't remember the formula.
No.
But I think all the facilities there are for repairing and insuring, aren't they? Well, you have to look
Again,
at it.
I'll find it all out.
If you could please check, is it a full repair and lease on the cottages? Because they are.
I know they have been done up. I've been up to the golf club, and they were quite smart.
Yes.
So obviously some money's been spent on them.
Just whether we're checking it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Noted. Okay. Any?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. we're asked, on this one, we are asked to approve the draft inspection programme. Is that okay?
Another question.
Okay, go on, sorry.
No. So it's not page 3, but it's 3 of all the different things. So you've got item 12, car parks times 7. So it's another question is, are we inspecting these car parks that we don't own? I mean, I know we own Lydica, but are we inspecting all of them on behalf of district, and is there any consideration for us inspecting them? How does that work?
They do not feature in our inspection programme. The assets that are St Albans District Council, we do not inspect them.
Oh right, so it's 7 apart from, gosh, what's going on?
Well, I think about South Down. Is that Town District one?
Do you know what it is?
Dartmouth.
That one.
The Bar Lambs is,
Yes.
Oh, no.
so that's one,
Yeah.
and then there's the Decker, that's 2. Where's the other 5?
So there's Lydica, Bar Lambs, Rovers, Kingsbourne Green.
Right.
Kingsbourne Green.
Around the sign.
Oh yes, of course, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I'll
Opposite
send you
where the
a
Harrow-
list. I'll send you a list out.
Opposite where the Harrow used to be?
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, where it's that little circle of,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the one on, where the tennis club is, that's district, is it? Or the one with the leisure centre?
Yeah, it's district.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's district.
Oh well, no, we've...
I apologise, I should have listed them in here, but I will send that out to you as well, so a list of that.
Sorry, thanks for that.
We've got 3 flagpoles.
Yes.
Oh, there are 2 of them. There's one out here, isn't there?
One on the
One
corner.
on the corner. Where's the other one?
Lydica Park for the green.
Oh, they've got a green flag as well, yeah, quite right.
Yes.
Oh. Alright. Any other questions on
No.
budgetary control? That's the other kind of budgetary control. Draft inspection programme, so we're asked to approve that. All in favour?
Yes.
Thank you. Right, on to 7.3, page 29. Pathway improvements. We've already done quite a bit municipal year, haven't we, across the common there. And I think it looks very good.
Yes,
you're
yeah.
right.
Big improvement.
Excellent. From my point of view, it's you know,
Yes,
Mm.
of course, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. And we've done, is it Church Green?
Leighton Green.
Leighton Green.
What, the footpath opposite the Halfton Arms, that one?
Yeah.
Maybe it's
That's
widened.
absolutely, yeah. We received it this week,
Mm.
which is good.
The one, where you turn up to go to Waitroses car park, Leighton Green.
Mm.
That's been done as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, yes.
I think that looks pretty good.
Definitely.
Okay, alright, let's look through this. Let's going to focus on Porter's Hill Park, the Sensory Garden, and the pathway outside the Pizza Express. Let's see pictures. Definitely looks as if it's doing.
They do. Mm.
Any comments on that?
I'm sure Pizza Express will be grateful for us fixing the pavements outside.
I have to say that you know, constant retail user nowadays, and so yes, they're very welcome, and I think they're well done.
Okay. Okay, so there are no other points. 2.1.1, we're asked to approve the priority improvement areas as set out in paragraphs 3.4 to 3.9. All in favour? Thank you very much. Unanimous. Right, now on to agenda item 7.4, page 37. This is Batford Springs pathway improvement. Does you want to come up on this one, Michael?
Yes, it was.
It's to do this, is it? Okay. Do you want to just talk us through this quickly, Phil? This report?
The Batford Springs one.
Yeah.
So the improvement of pathways is part of the Hertford Town Council business plan, and it's also within the Batford Springs management plan to make the paths within the Batford Springs Nature Reserve semi-hard surface in the same manner as the ones, for example, across Marquis Meadow. The main areas, there's lots and lots of photographs of the area, but the main area of concern that this report relates to is between the hard surface footpath that goes across the bridge over the River Lee and the Chalk Stream, from there into the area towards the River Lee, below the weir, and also to the where the big stepping stones are. Now, all of those paths, as I think is reflected within these photographs, are prone to get very soggy, very muddy, and not always passable unless you've got a decent pair of Wellington boots on. The other thing that's talked about in here is the Sleepers Bridge, which features within the photographs. That has become slightly unstable, and as you can see at one end of it, it presents a trip hazard as well. And as well as being muddy, these paths have a number of trip hazards within them as well, with things sticking up. So the intention here is to continue the scheme that's already been put in place around most of the rest of Batford Springs, which is to put in that MOT type surface on these paths to make them safer and to give a greater element of accessibility.
What is MOT?
I never know what it stands for because I always think instantly of car. But it's, I don't know if you're familiar with the pathway up or across Marquis Meadow, that sort of semi-hard compound which blends in with natural environments more than what tarmac does. That's what seems to be generally known as MOT.
Yeah, and we've used this stuff on the common, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been used in a number of places by the council on our areas which are natural environments. So for consistency, that's another reason why it was suggested for here.
Is that from where we budgeted?
Yeah, we went up,
yes.
had a look at those eroded paths,
Yes.
the horse ride and all that stuff. That's been done, and it does, when it's topped off with this sort of granite chippings, it does seem to weather in pretty well, as well as being, fairly robust, so you don't get erosion with people using it. So, any comments on the report?
Do you want to bring up your public question?
Oh, this was the question I raised. Oh, you've got the things there.
Yes, I have. So, Mr. Chairman, would you like me to read it out?
Yeah.
Would you like me to read out the email that was sent from the member of the public?
Well, you can summarise
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. In summary, he has proposed that the surfaces should be hard surface. He talks about precedent being set on the common regarding, for example, the access road and the car park for the golf course. And he feels that the areas around the ponds at Southdown would be improved if they were hard surface rather than surface with the what is proposed by the report down there. Now, I haven't really anything to add to the report, but noting this query that was raised by Councillors Weaver and Martin, it is true that the driveway and the car park of the golf club are tarmac, but that location has to withstand high numbers of heavy motor vehicles. The surface that's proposed by the reports has been used elsewhere by the council in natural environment areas where it has a more natural finish and suits the natural environment better than what tarmac does.
It's largely pedestrians, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
However, we would address the uneven levels around the pond when laying the new surface, and we could always extend the path to abut the road there as well, so that access onto and off of the common is easier for wheelchairs.
Right.
Yes, Absolutely, I've got no...
Do you agree with that?
Perfectly happy with that.
Okay, any other,
Yeah.
you okay with that? Okay, any other comments? Okay, are we ready to approve the proposed park improvement works at Bartlett Springs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nature reserve set out, Benetech, okay. Thank you. 7.5, the Barlands car park surfacing. Again, I think when I looked at this last time, I thought the soakaway, the existing soakaway, was basically in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like upstream. Yeah, good enough water doesn't go upstream. And we'll talk us through this one, Phil.
So it's been noted that the current surface within the Barlands car park, which was always intended to have a natural look to it and for grass to grow through it, hasn't been completely successful, or in fact very successful, because of the high volume of usage has prevented that grass to grow where it is meant to have grown. And also those plastic block frames that are actually used for it, they have shown themselves from the damage that is evident that they're not really heavy duty enough to take the volume and weight of cars that we have using that car park either. So the proposal is, in this case, to use a hard surface because it is appropriate to the need of the weight of the cars and the volume of the cars. In delivering this car park, you've mentioned the soakaway. Part of the plans will involve a soakaway along one side of, or drains along one side of the car park, leading to a soakaway in what is probably the more appropriate place for a soakaway to actually be.
Yeah.
There's also included within the report the fact that the car park is quite tight for modern sized cars, and so the proposal is that it is slightly enlarged towards the A1081 road, and it's not intended that there will be any additional parking spaces, but the enlargement will be to enable easier manoeuvring within the car park because of the high number of cars that use it. And the spoil from that enlargement will be used to form a bit of a mound between the car park and the road.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Please.
Yeah, can I just make one observation, that you mentioned obviously marking out the car park when it's relayed. Would it be possible to put in some disabled bays?
We can look into that. There's a fair number of disabled bays in other car parks. Often they're not used. Seem to be very seldom used.
So isn't there a statutory
There might be.
thing that says you should have one or two or whatever it is?
Probably
There might be.
depending on size.
It will be.
Probably, if it's over a certain amount of car parking spaces, probably 10%. I think 10% usually, isn't it?
Yeah, I think bearing in mind that this provides access to the common, you know, as opposed to ones in the town centre, it would be a good idea to provide that.
I agree.
Yeah, obviously.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, looking at that.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, fine. Any other points? Okay. So moving to the recommendation. Can we take these two together? Approve the resurfacing of the car park as set out, and approve the widening of the car park as set out. All in favour? Thank you very much. Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Could I, just to be a pain, could I just go back please to the checks and just ask, it might be obvious but I just haven't worked out a reason why they're not included.
Which page?
The
inspections.
inspections,
Oh, right, okay.
just for bus shelters and cycle racks.
I know the bus shelters are inspected, but it might be worth putting them in, mightn't it?
Yeah, but it's not on the list, is it? I was
No.
wondering if it falls somehow in a different list, or whether it's included somewhere and I've just missed it.
Mr Chairman, if the bus shelters aren't on there, I must apologise because they were on my draft list. They should be in here, and if they're not, they will be added because
I'm sure
yeah, well,
they should be in there. And perhaps on redrafts it has got lost. So
Yeah, I can't
thank
see
you
it.
for that.
Okay, well spotted.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought of them. And cycle racks, yeah. Suddenly thought about them. Sorry to go there.
Yeah, good.
Well done.
Okay, moving on to 7.6, page 51. Resurfacing some of the pathways around Southend Ponds. Do you want to comment on this one?
So, Mr Chairman, this is another report and probably the more relevant report that the member of the public's representation that we just discussed
Okay.
actually applied to. And as I commented, that we could do those two things to try to make it more accessible for people in wheelchairs. But this is about the areas around the ponds, Southdown Ponds on the Common, being in particularly bad repair with stones and other trip hazards sticking up.
Yeah.
So the proposal is to resurface it with the council's preferred option for using the surface.
Yeah, and it needs Secretary of State permission as well.
Yes.
So,
So that's excellent. Yeah.
Just a quick question. I remember when we surfaced the rest of the common, that was 14k. I note that the estimated cost of this is 11,000. And the permissive horse ride of the common, surely that's a lot longer than just round the common. So I'm wondering why there's not necessarily a bigger difference in costs. Only £3,000. I would have thought that the cost of the resurfacing work would be maybe closer to half what we got for the permissive horse ride. Is there a reason why it's even closer to 14k?
I think we only did part of the permissive horse ride.
Okay.
Some of it had been done before,
Yes.
and we only did the really sort of worn sections, if I remember correctly.
Exactly.
But we can check that point.
Yeah, so I just thought it
Yeah.
seems a bit much.
Don't know the exact length of the paths around the ponds compared to the lengths that we surfaced on the roundabout.
I imagine it might be something to do with the fact that you've got water around there. Maybe they need to take note of that, whereas the permissive horse ride on the common didn't have a pond to have to think about, so maybe that was
Yeah, possibly. Okay, so we'll come back to that one. Okay. So any other points on this? Okay, so we're asked to approve the path surfacing work for Southdown Ponds as set out below. Okay, unanimous, thank you. Right, on to 7.8. Dementia Friendly Town Working Plan. Yeah, it's a pretty dreadful condition to get into, isn't it? My son, who's a A&E doctor, he reckons that if we all survive cancer and Christ knows what else, dementia will get us eventually. So, I also notice in our places that we've been redoing, like Lee Springs, for example, and others, there's quite a lot of dementia assistance things in there, like, for example, the floors are colour-coded, which help people, struggling to find their way around. So you have a, red floor and a green floor and a blue floor and all that sort of stuff, which helps.
Yeah.
So, you want to comment on this one?
Well, it's proposal that we will end up with a project to make Harpenden a dementia-friendly town, but at this stage, this is about the initial stages of agreeing to set up a working party to start in a few months' time, and that's the basic starting point in order to work towards achieving Harpenden being a dementia-friendly town through identifying all the actions that need to be carried out to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'd just like to say I thought the comments were really fab, actually. People feel like that, and I think it shows the lack of understanding. You know, I wouldn't have imagined that really from Harpenden, that people could sound quite cruel, actually. And I think we should. This is something we should definitely be looking to get engaged in. I was just wondering if, I know obviously the training day mentioned that the staff had attended, but I think that should probably, you know, in May, perhaps that should be extended to all councillors as well, so they have more of an understanding. If that could be something that could be sorted. But yeah, I'm really for this. I think it's a good idea, and I'd like to see more awareness made. If, you know, if this is how people are being treated in the town, you know, maybe in the forum and things like that, we can, you know, the town council can be proactive in making people a bit more aware.
Yes.
I think you're right, spot on.
I do know that Quantum Care, I haven't been around Willow Court, but I have been around one of their facilities in Welwyn Garden City, and it was very, very good. And they certainly do a lot, you know, along the lines I described earlier.
Yeah.
You know, colour coding and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'm fine with this.
Yep,
I guess they're private though, aren't they?
They are, but I think they do take...
Willow Court will take.
They take people from LND, I think.
Yes, they do.
They
They
do,
offer to take me.
they do take... They do take a level of, a number of social patients, if I can put it like that. People who are, you know, funded by social services as opposed to private, a portion. And the problem, of course, is the county council has cut back on.
I was just going to say, it'd be the county council's remit really to provide this kind of facility.
But I think it's very, very important that we're aware of this. The dementia itself is something that it's not like an illness and something you just break a leg or something. It's gradual, and so if we all, and it gets across, if our message gets across to the public and the community as a whole, that's very good, because there are people you see in a coffee shop and you realise what, when we had a coffee shop and there were two people like this, and we catered for them, but so the public can help, and therefore it comes from us at the top to do it. So I like the idea of this, making it a dementia town, not dementia town.
Mr. Chairman, I was just going to say that the very helpful comments from Councillor Martin, that I'll feed those to the project officer who will be responsible for this, but I think that's probably one of the first things that once the working party is set up, that gets fed into them as one of the ideas for them to look at and perhaps take forward.
Well, you might want to join that working party if you've got time, or however we structure it. Okay. Any other points on 7.8? No? Okay, so we're asked to agree that the dementia-friendly town working party is set up in 2019-20, and that this working party reports to this committee. All in favour? Thank you very much. But I think that's from the meeting of the last time, isn't it?
We've already signed that up at the
Signed up.
time of signing up.
Okay, so we don't need to do anything on that.
No.
So, if we're we're almost at the end of April. Okay, what I'd just like to do before we close, this is the last meeting of this municipal year for this committee, and also for this council term. So I'd just like to thank everybody who contributed to the committee during that time frame. I think we've got a lot done in terms of overseeing things. I mean, Blackford Springs volunteers that and the transfer from district. We maintained the common, done the air raid shelters, the boreholes at Blackford Springs.
Yes.
I was going to ask a question. I'll let you finish your speech. I was going to ask a question about the status of them.
Okay, we'll come on to that in a minute. And all the new pathways that we've been doing. So, you know, I think we've done a pretty good job. So I just wanted to thank those people who contributed to the committee, particularly those who are standing down at the election.